he said every night he would go online for hours.
他说每一天晚上他都会上这种色情网站好几个小时。
He'd be preoccupied with one kind of porn that would looking for the kind of piece of porn that would give him the buzz.
他会找某一个色情，一直等到这个色情让他很兴奋。
And his taste changed quickly.
然后他的这个胃口就一旦改
He
变。
started with traditional porn, beautiful women.
一开始是传统性的找一些美女。
Then he got into amateurs, the ones that aren't that good looking.
然后再找一些好像不是职业性的。
Then cheerleaders and younger women who dressed to look like teens.
或者更小的孩子。
And then it was all over the map.
然后就是什么都找。
Whatever struck his mood.
什么东西让他那一天满足。
And he was curious about bestiality.
然后他就开始对于动物有兴趣。
Animals, yeah. And Pamela Paul paused and she says, I remember thinking, who would be in, what kind of person would be into dogs and horses?
就是这个写书人就说什么样的人会喜欢狗跟马这些东西。
But the direction that this person was going, any kind of sexuality with any kind of thing, could be a turn on.
你可以看到这一个人所走的方向，任何一个东西，只要使得他兴奋，他就会往那条
And she
路
knows
走。
that for many of these men, they actually get bored.
这一些男的，他常常会觉得很无聊。
It's like nothing stimulates them anymore because they got tried everything.
久了以后，他就发现没有什么东西可以再刺激他了。
This is the spiral of depravity that the Bible talks about when we indulge in something to the point where it's no longer a normal appetite.
圣经告诉我们，当你放纵你自己在情欲里面，久了以后，你就会发现没有什么东西再带给你兴奋感。
And I would note that this process is very destructive to our sense of self-image.
而这整个的过程对我们的自我形象有很大的影响。
You feel bad. You feel like you're a failure at self-control.
你会觉得在自我节制这一方面，你是一个失败者。
Yeah, and it can also have a dramatic effect on your ability to relate to the opposite sex.
这个也会对于你跟异性中间的交往成为一个拦阻。
And for married men, it can be very wounding to women when they find out.
对一些已经结婚的人，当他的妻子发现的时候，会给婚姻带来很大的伤害。
What we learn from the internet porn experience is really an indulgence, in this case a sexual indulgence, without self-control, without boundaries, leads to this deep depravity, this spiral that ultimately is destructive.
我们在这里所学到色情的网站带给我们的，在性方面的这种放纵，事实上会带来很大的伤害。
Yeah. So, what does the Bible teach us?
圣经到底对性有什么样的教导？
There are many people actually, when you ask them, what does the Bible teach? In fact, especially young people, you ask them, what does the Bible teach about sex?
如果你问一些年轻人，他是教会年轻人说，教会对于性有什么样的教导？
And their answer is really simple. They say, don't.
他们的回答就是不要做，
Don't do it.
不要去做，
Don't look at it.
不要去看，
Don't talk about it.
不要去讲。
And unfortunately, this is really unfortunate because it's such a big part of our lives. We don't actually talk about it in a healthy way.
这事实上是非常的可惜，因为性是在我们的生命里很大的一部分，我们却没有办法以一种很健康的模式来讲。
And they find it easier to talk to their friends about it in the dorm room.
他们发现，在宿舍里跟其他男孩讲更容易一点。
Yeah. In fact, the church has really a legacy of distorted teachings on this.
事实上，教会好像对于这一方面的教导，有
It's
时候
not,
真的是有点
if you go down the history of the church,
如果你看一下教会的历史，
right? Initially, this is not right teaching. This is not biblical teaching. This is just teaching that was associated with churches.
这些并不是正确的教导，而是这一些大家一想到教会的教导想出来的一些。
Initially, there was this influence from Gnosticism where there's a split between the body and the spirit.
它可能起源于这我不知道怎么翻译，就是说身体跟灵是分开来的。
So the spiritual things are not body and body are not spiritual.
属灵的事情跟身体的事情是两回事儿。
So the history is to see sex as a very dangerous thing.
呀，还有另
or dirty.
外一种历史，就是把性看为一个很危险、很污秽的东西。
Because you can't control it, you have to put a lid on it or repress it.
因为你没有办法控制它，所以你一定要紧紧地把它压住。
And you know, some of the early on, St. Augustine, he was, I guess we would call him a sexual addict now, right? He was like young and experimental.
呀，有一个非常有名的一个神学家奥古斯丁，他年轻的时候事实上是有性瘾的。
So when he first was converted, he was very strongly against any sort of spoke strongly against.
所以他刚刚成为基督徒的时候，他就对于性有非常反面的一些。
I think gradually over time he sort of mellowed more and reflected on others.
呀，渐渐的他后来有一些改变。
And there were Saint Jerome. He threw himself to thorns because he wanted the pain to deal with his desires.
呀，有另外一个很有名的叫 Cef 他把自己投在那种有刺的那种植物上，为了要控制他自己的这一方面的欲望。
Saint Origen, he castrated himself. Took care of that.
Wow.
Well, never mind. So I'm just reading this history. So one of my favorite authors is Philip Yancey.
让我一个非常喜欢的一个作者叫 Philip Yancey。
And he was reflecting on the history of sexuality in the church teachings, in the old church teachings.
当他回想到在古老教会对于性方面的教导的时候
He said, well, you know, the church authorities back for a long time, the Catholic Church said, you know, no sex on Thursdays because that's the day of Christ's arrest.
在天主教会的教导就是礼拜四不可以有性，因为那一天耶稣基督受审。
No sex on Friday because it's the day of his death. No sex on Saturday because that was the day of the Blessed Virgin. No sex on Sunday because that was the day of the departed saints. No sex on Wednesdays, I don't know why, but and there are no sex in the 40 days before Easter, before Christmas, and before Pentecost. Yeah, I know. Let me just keep going. So you know, there was this guy, John Ozel, who actually summarized. He says, after you subtracted all of these days, only 44, also, of course, the period, women periods, right? No sex there. So after you subtract all these, roughly, on average, about 44 days for marital sex in a year. So I think, you know, I think we need to go back to the Bible and ask, you know, what did God teach us about sex?
虽然教会的历史有很多很多的限制，有时候几乎到可笑，但我们应该回到圣经来看，圣经对于性的教导。
Yeah, and actually when you look at the Bible, you know, it's very clear that the Bible is sex positive, not sex negative.
所以如果你看圣经的话，圣经对于性是正面的教导，而不是负面的。
Yeah, we were made with sexual desires.
因为当神造我们的时候，他把这个性欲放在我们里面。
Some of the most beautiful poetry in the Bible is in the Song of Songs, the Song of Solomon, right? Very, very sensuous.
呀，事实上，对于性方面最美的诗歌是在圣经的那个雅歌里面。
Yeah, and yet the Bible also gave us some rules.
但圣经也给了我们一些规条。
Because it's a very powerful force in our lives. It's like a powerful river. God gave us rules to channel these energies, like we channel a river. So it doesn't flood, it doesn't cause problems.
呀，但是因为它是在我们生命一个很大的一个力量，所以神给我们一些方法，就好像让一个很有力的一个河流，神来教导我们怎么样让这个河流不会泛滥。
This good sex that the Bible's talking about is about with the right person, the right place, at the right time. It's a covenantal good.
所以圣经讲的好的性是什么？是与对的人在对的时间在对的地方，是一种盟约之下的性。
Yeah, it's part of the covenant we talked about yesterday.
是我们昨天所讲盟约之下的性。
And it is also a relational good.
它也是一个关系方面的事。
It is a delighting in the other person. It is an otherly focused, not just self-focused experience.
它是使你喜悦对方，所以你的焦点应该是对方，而不是在你自己。
Yeah, it is also a bonding agent. It's for expressing intimacy. It's for giving and not just getting.
它也是一个人跟人中间美好关系的一个表现。它是一个给的一个行动，而不是一个得的行动。
So, and in the Old Testament, there were a number of things that were expressly spoken against.
在旧约里面，对于性有一些方面，它有特别大的警告。
There's no infidelity. You're in a relationship, you're married, you don't go and have another one.
其中有一个就是你不应该有外遇，你不可以不忠贞。你在有了婚姻，你就要对婚姻忠贞。
Very explicitly, there is no incest. You don't have sex with people close to you and your family.
第二个就是不可以乱伦，你不可以跟自己家里的人中间有这种性关系。
There is no premarital sex. There's nothing like, try it out and then see if you like it.
第三个就是不可以有婚前的性行为，你不能说我先试试看，看我喜欢不喜欢再
There's no
说。
adultery.
第四个就是不可以犯奸淫，
There's no sexual abuse,
也不可以有性，
forcing, rape.
也不可以强奸，不可以有性方
In
面
the
的。
same way, in the same way, Bible says there's no homosexuality.
旧约圣经也告诉我们说，没有同性恋，不可以有同性
There's
恋，
no bestiality.
也不可以跟畜生在一起。
And all these are guidelines. They're like fences. They're like channels to protect us from ourselves.
这些就是给我们一些方法，给我们一些等于说旁边的一些围栏，使得我们能够把性保存得很好。
Now, yesterday we talked about the difference between what is lawful and what is good.
我们昨天有讲到什么是合法的，跟什么是真正的好的。
Now, a few of these things here are not lawful.
I'm sorry.
A few of these things here are not lawful, but some of them are lawful, but not good.
我在这里所列下来的东西，有一些东西是不合法，但有一些东西是合法的。
And yet, God basically, the designer of us gave us instruction manuals and says if you follow instruction manuals, this thing operates well.
但那个设计我们的，给我们一些规条、一些指引，告诉我们说，如果我们跟着这些指引，我们就会生活的很灿烂辉
We live in
煌。
a society and in a culture in which many of these things are not considered not only legal, but actually not considered bad.
我们现在活在这个社会，对于这一些东西，有一些东西，他们不仅是觉得合法，而且会告诉你说，没事儿，并不好，没有不好的。
But it is pretty clear what was laid out.
但是我觉得圣经里对于这一方面讲的是很清楚。
And if you have questions about it, we can talk about some of these later.
如果你有问题的话，我们等一下可以花一点时间来讨论
The。purpose of these rules is not to, because God doesn't like us to have fun.
这些规条并不是说神不希望我们大家能开心，
But it's exactly true that when you have absolutely no rules, you also have no freedom.
但是事实上他告诉你，就是如果你没有任何的限制、任何规条的话，你也不会有自由的。
Traffic lights, the reason we have traffic light is so that we can actually have the freedom of passing through when we can.
为什么开车的时候有红绿灯？它就是让你开车能够有自由。
I remember this story about a taxi driver in Chicago.
我记得在芝加哥有一个计程车司机这样告诉我，
He was telling the story, and he says, "This is just a joke."
他
Again,
告
not
诉我
real
一个
story.
故事，一个笑话啊。
He would hit a red light, and then he would just look around and go right through.
他在开的地方如果是红灯的话，都左看右看，没人的话就过去了。
And the guy, his passenger goes, "What are you doing? That's a red light."
在后面乘客就说：“你怎么那你闯红灯了
He said, "That's okay. That's okay. I do it all the time." ？”
他说：“没有关系，没有关系，我常常闯红灯。
And he's just flashing through all these red lights. ”
所以一到红灯，他看他就闯过去。
And suddenly he saw a green light.
突然有一天，他看到一个绿灯，
So he slowed down.
他就开得很慢。
The driver goes, the passenger goes, "What are you doing? It's a green light."
乘客就说：“你干嘛是绿灯呢
He says, "Yeah, but you never know if my brother is going to come right around the corner."
但是你不知道是我弟弟会闯红灯。
Look, if we don't have red lights and we don't have green lights, we don't have rules, we actually don't have freedom.
事实上，如果没有红灯，没有绿灯，如果我们没有规则的话，我们也没有自由。
If there is no such thing as restrictions and limitations, and the whole idea of sex is the more the merrier, it doesn't work.
如果对于性方面没有任何的限制，没有任何的，我们是越多越好的话，事实上你是没有自由的。
Yeah, and it's meant to protect us.
圣经的规条是为了要保护我们。
It's been said, I think it was Billy Graham who said that sex is like a fire.
实
in
际
a
上
relationship.
，Billy Graham 跟我们说，性在一个关系里面就好像是火一样。
It works great with in the fireplace because it heats up the whole house.
如果它在火炉里就很好，它会使得你整个的家温暖。
But you throw the fire around and it just burns everything.
但如果你把野火到处乱扔的话，这什么都把你烧掉。
Okay, so what about the New Testament?
新约圣经怎么讲呢？
I think New Testament is in many ways very clear as well. The key principle is that the sexuality, genital sexuality, is inseparable from the bondage of marriage. In other words, it's meant to be within the covenant of marriage.
在新约圣经里面讲到性的时候，它是讲到是在一个婚姻的盟约之下。
It's related to this profound unity of persons.
它是讲到两个人非常奇妙的结合。
Remember yesterday we talked about eros. One of the most unique aspects of eros is that it's exclusive.
我们昨天有讲到性爱，性爱很大的一个特点就是它是一对一的。
You don't want to share. With friends you share, but with your love partner, you don't want to share that person.
友情你可以跟别人分享，但性爱你不可以跟别人分享。
And in the context of the marriage, it becomes a covenantal bond.
所以爱之下，它成为一个盟约之间的一个连接的力量。
And it is also true that Paul says, you know, being married is no better than being single.
还有另外一点，保罗告诉我们说，结婚跟单身没有一个比另外一个好。
I should know this is very unusual because at that time, a person's identity comes when they get married, right? When they have family.
非常了不得的一句话，因为在那个时代，人的一个自己的身份通常都是跟婚姻而来。
Yeah, but one of the key verses in the New Testament about this is in 1 Corinthians 6.
在哥林多前书第6章这个样说。
Actually, Paul was talking about food and offer to idols, whether you should eat it, and also he mentions about sex.
保罗在那里讲到拜过偶像食物可不可以吃，他同时也讲到性。
He says food. Basically, his reflection is, you know, food and sex are good gifts from God.
他是说食物跟性都是神给我们很美好的
But
礼
he
物。
says everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial.
他是说什么事都可以做，但不见得什么事都是有益处的。
Another way of saying is, yeah, it's not that I cannot eat, but I don't want anything in my life to master me.
甚至保罗的意思就是说，你不是说不可以吃，而是你不要让任何一个东西
I don't
来
be
控制你，
addicted
成为你的
to
主
anything.
人，你不愿意犯上任何的瘾。
And then in 2 Timothy 2:22, that's an easy one to remember, right? 2:22.
提摩太后书第2章22节这个样
It
说
says, flee from the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, peace, along with those who call on the Lord for a pure heart.
要逃避少年人的情欲，而要追求的是正直，是信心，是爱，以及圣洁跟平安。
Yeah, very good. So I like the word flee, you know,
我很喜欢这个逃避这个字，
because it's not to fight, because the Bible says to resist the devil, right? You fight the devil.
圣经告
This
诉我
stuff you
们
just
说，
run.
圣经用逃避这个字，碰到这一方面就只有逃。
You know, because by the time you get to two people by yourself, all alone, and heat it up, it's pretty tough to say no.
所以当两个人单独在一起，两个人已经热火上升的时候，在那个时候逃非常的困难。
Yeah, so you almost have to plan ahead.
所以你需要事前有计划。
And you say to yourself, okay, this is the life I want to live. This is where I want to be 5 years from now. And what should I do now?
你就说5年以后，我希望有这个样的生活，我希望有这个样的结果，那我今天应该怎么样？
Yeah, so just acknowledge your weakness and run.
就是承认你自己的弱点，然后就逃。
You don't have to be a hero on this stuff.
在这一方面，你不需要逞英雄。
Yeah, okay. So let me talk on another related topic.
我再讲另外一个相关的题目。
Okay, so why don't we live together? You know, why don't we test drive before we buy?
我们为什么不能先试了车再买呢？他的意思就是
Cohabitation.
我们是不是可以先同居再结婚呢？
Yeah, and instead of quoting the Bible, I'm going to quote the New York Times. Okay.
所以
Meg J wrote an article back in 2012. I don't think she's a Christian, but she was just reflecting on what she and her generation learned about cohabitation.
我在这里讲不是圣经来的，是从《纽约时报》2012年这个女的所写的，她不是基督徒，她只是在回想，在思考一下当今社会对于这个题目。
He says, everybody's cohabiting, but it may not be such a great deal.
他说我注意到我周围的人，很多人都是同居，但我觉得这并不见得是一件好事。
Because he says, the test drive does not look like the real deal. It's not a real test drive.
因为你所谓的试车跟真正的那个东西相比之下，它们俩是不一样的。
Because both of you in a cohabitation relationship knows that this is a tryout.
因为你们两个同居的时候，你们俩都知道，只不过是在试车。
And there, in that, it's a consumer relationship.
所以在那里有一种买卖的心态。
So each of you say, I'm a vendor. You're a vendor. I'm a consumer. I'm trying it on.
所以两个人对对方都觉得我是在买，你是在卖。
And if you don't meet my needs, I'm out of here.
所以你不能满足我的需要，我就不要了。
Because frankly, my needs are more important than this relationship. That's why we're in this kind of relationship.
我们之所以在这个样的关系，是因为我的需要比我们的关系更重
You
要。
may say it differently, but that's how you think about it.
你可能不这样说，但你是这个样想的。
And in that kind of relationship, both sides are marketing themselves.
所以在这一种关系的话，两个人都需要怎么讲 marketing， 就是营销自己
So
的。
one girl they interviewed, she interviewed after a cohabitation period, she broke up and she said, I'm just tired of being on audition for him.
呀，他就面试了一个女的，她跟一个男同居，然后离开了。他就说，我为什么要离开呢？因为我实在是太不愿意天天去面试了。
面试, right? Audition, right? So basically, when you're on audition, you're on your best behavior.
因为你在卖嘛，你在面试的时候总是把自己最好的一面展示出来。
And you're focusing on telling the other, I love this feeling. I'm enjoying this feeling.
而你的焦点就是要告诉对方，哎呀，我真的是非常的开心，你让我非常舒服。
Sometimes you never even get down to how you really feel at times.
事实上，你甚至没有时间来讲讲自己的感觉。
But when you are committed, you're in a married relationship.
但当你委身进到一个婚姻的盟约的时候，
Timothy Keller wrote a book on marriage, and he points this out.
Timothy Keller 写了一本书，他这样说。
He says, in a covenant, I adjust to the other person because I made a promise.
在一个婚约之下，我适应对方，因为我做了承诺。
And that promise and that relationship is actually more important than my needs from moment to moment.
而这个承诺，这个关系比我自己时刻的感觉跟欲望的更重要。
And he says, if both parties are covenanters, that is, they both know what a covenant is and value it, then something magical happens.
如果我们两个人都是立约的人，我们之间的关系就会有非常奇妙的发生。
And then there's this grace-based zone of safety where you can be yourself. You can stop spinning, you can stop selling.
这是一个在恩典之下的关系，所以你不需要再买，你不需要再卖了。
And what you say may not come across very well initially, but because the relationship holds together, you get to a new level.
虽然一开始的时候你表达的不见得清楚，但是因为是在盟约之下，你们中间的交流就会升华。
And the amazing thing is you're really committed to each other in spite of in the present feelings, new and deeper feelings develop.
因为你们是在盟约的关系之下，你们会进入更深的关系。
You're not just, the things about the other person that you thought were originally quirky.
一开始的时候，你觉得对方有一点quirky，就是有点怪怪的，或者是很木。
After a while, become 蛮可爱的。I miss that particular thing. Because that person is not just on the market. That person is yours.
因为那个人不再是向你推销了，那个人是你的。
That's why some people, they cohabit for many years.
但有一些人同居了好多年，
They get married and then they get divorced.
结了婚以后不久就离婚了。
Because the test drive is not the same as the real deal.
因为试车跟真正的这个购买还是不一样的。
Yeah. So sex, as we say, is an external expression of an inner reality. If you have the inner reality, it is a great bonding agent.
因为事实上，性是一个外在的表现，为了要表达你内在的关
It's
系，
part of a complete personal disclosure to another person.
是你把自己向对方敞开来的一个行动。
Yeah, so that's cohabitation according to the New York Times.
这是《纽约时报》对于统计。
So anyway, so let me just take the rest of the talk a little bit about why, if love is such a wonderful thing, we have so many train wrecks. You know, we're looking for this and we find this.
为什么爱上面有这么多车祸？我们所想的是完美的图画，而结局是这个样的。
Yeah, so I think there are 3 problems I want to highlight. Maybe we can talk about it some more.
我觉得可能是3个问题。
One is this fallacy about love.
第一个就是我们对于爱的不正确的认识。
Yesterday we talked a lot about love.
昨天我们讲了很多关于爱的事
The
情。
culture says love is mainly a feeling.
文化告诉我们，爱是感觉。
Yeah, it's you have to be out of control to be in love.
如果你爱的话，你一定要无法控制。
And if you're not feeling anymore, you're not in love anymore.
如果你没有感觉的话，你就不再
I
爱
think
了。
that's a problem.
这是一个问题。
We have. The second is this confusion about sex.
第二个就是我们对于性的混淆。
What we really want is intimacy,
我们所要的是亲密的关系，
but we settle for sex.
但是我们就说啊，没有那个就有性吧
And。then we get into this spiral in which we feel like we can't get out.
我们就进入了这一个旋转，没有办法转出
And
来。
even though we know that this spiral is ultimately destructive, we don't know how to get out of it.
虽然我们知道在这个圈套里面是不好的，但我们不知道怎么跳出来。
Yeah. And I think the last one, and this is the one I want to really emphasize,
第三个是我要跟大家特别提出来的，
is this idolization of romance.
就是你对于这种爱情的那种偶像化。
You know, when I was growing up in North America, you know, I didn't know God. I was not a Christian.
在我长大的时候，我在北美长大，我那时候不是基督徒。
It didn't take me long to figure out that just career success is not going to do it for me.
我很快就知道事业成功并不能带给我完全满足。
I realized very quickly that love is an essential part of a meaningful life.
我很快的就知道，爱让我活一有意义的生命是很重要的。
But I didn't know about God, so I channeled all of that effort into finding my soulmate.
虽然我不认识神，所以我把我所有的精力就在寻找我灵魂上的伴侣。
My thinking is that if I could just find the right person, the one that was meant for me, that was built for me, life would be great.
我那时就在想，如果能找到这一个灵魂的伴侣，找到那一位，那我的生命就会
The one true love,
一个我唯一的真爱，
she'll fix everything.
他会把我一切的问题
She
都
will
解决。
understand me the way my parents don't understand me.
他可以了解我，甚至我父母都没有办法那样了
She
解
will
我。
encourage me the way my boss doesn't encourage me.
他会鼓励我，我老板不鼓励我，他会鼓励我。
She will love me even better than my dog loves me.
比我的狗还要爱我。
Very unlikely. Right? So, she will fill the hole in my heart,
他会把我心里的那个空虚填满，
and life will have meaning and purpose.
这样人生就会有意义、有目的，
And I will be whole.
然后我就会得到完全。
I'm telling you, every kind of song you listen to when I was growing up seems to tell me the same thing.
我那时候所听的每一首流行歌曲，好像都是告诉我同样的信息。
All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. Every song sung by every kind of genre seems to say the same thing. Find the person, you're really going to be happy.
任何一首歌都是告诉我，如果我找对了人，我这一生就会开心了。
And you know what happens? We elevate our expectation for our love interest to an impossible level.
因为这样，我们把我们爱的对象提到一个高不可及的地位。
We put the weight that belongs to God into a person who cannot bear that weight.
我们把我们生命的重心，本来应该摆在神身上的重心，摆在一个人的身上，而这个人是承担不了那个重量的。
And even when you find a really good person,
甚至你找到一个很好的，
person with a lot of common interests, a lot of good qualities,
这个人有很好的素质，跟你有很多共同兴趣，
they cannot bear the expectation you have placed on them, which is not a right expectation.
这一个人承受不了你给他那个期望的重量，而你这个期望是不正确的期望。
You know, there's a huge hole. The Bible says there's a huge hole in our heart.
圣经告诉我们，在我们的心里有一个很大的空虚。
And only God can fill that hole.
真的，这个空虚只有神能够填满。
But we will try to find many ways to fill that hole.
但我们人却找尽各种不同的方法来填补那个空虚。
It was Cef Chesterton, a very famous Christian professor, actually. He said, every man who knocks on the door of a brothel is looking for God.
有一个很有名的神学教授这个样讲，每一个敲妓院门的人都在寻找神。
Because the hole for intimacy, for being known, being understood, or something close to it, is so powerful.
因为那个需要亲密的关系、认识跟被认识的欲望是这么样大。
Don't idolize romance.
不要把爱情偶像化。
Then what should you do?
那你该怎么办呢？
Put God in the center of your life.
你把神摆在你生命的中心。
Then every other relationship find their right place.
其他的关系就会找对它的位置。
Yeah, every other need finds their proper perspective.
其他任何的欲望都会找对它应在的位置。
Okay, so what challenges? Let me just, we have 15, 20 minutes. What challenges do you face today?
所以我们结论，你今天面对什么样的挑战？
This is a very practical type of thing. Maybe coping with sexual passions.
可能第一个你要面对你性方面的那种激情。
Maybe healing from a broken relationship.
可能要从你破碎的关系中得到痊愈。
Maybe finding your self-worth in God.
可能要在神的里面找到你的自我价值。
Not finding your self-worth in the other person you're looking for.
而不是在你的另外一个人身上找到你的自我价值。
Yeah. Here's some concrete steps forward.
所以我给大家一些建议啊。
The first place to start is to be honest.
你的起步就是你需要诚实。
Yeah, so acknowledge your role, your responsibilities, acknowledge where you are.
看清楚你在哪里，你的角色跟你的责任。
Daryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden are two very good baseball players.
哦，在这里呀，这两个人是很有名的棒球明星。
They are also very good friends.
他们俩也是很好的朋友。
Over the years, they both fought drug addiction.
在过去这么多年，他们两个都在跟他们的那个吸毒瘾在奋斗。
And Doc Gooden, he actually spent some time in jail because of it.
要这个 which one?
Gooden, he's the pitcher, and he's the outfielder. Many of you may know them.
呀，事实上，其中的穿黑衣服的人，甚至为了他的药瘾而下过监牢。
These guys are amazing baseball players.
这两个是非常非常好的棒球明星。
And like many very successful people, they find the biggest enemy is themselves.
有一些很成功的人，他发现他的敌人是自己。
And recently, they just made the newspapers again. This is last week.
上个礼拜的新闻报道，
Strawberry was very worried about his friend.
这就穿白衣服的人非常担心了穿黑衣服的人。
In fact, because August 23rd, Doc Gooden didn't show up for a press interview the two of them were supposed to do together.
在8月23号，他们两个应该一起面试的时候，那个穿黑衣服的人没有出现。
Strawberry felt like a dread in his heart. He felt like he knew exactly why.
那个穿白衣服的人心里就很难过，因为他很清楚知道为什么这个人没
Because
出
he
现，
feels like Doc is back on cocaine again.
因为他知道那个人又上了那个药瘾。
And he spoke up. He passionately spoke up, and he spoke up in the press.
然后他就在这个发表会上这样讲，
And Dwight Gooden immediately responded.
就讲出来了。结果黑衣服的人马上回复，
He was very public too. He said, Strawberry is wrong. I don't use cocaine.
他就说：“哎，你乱讲，我现在不再吸毒了。”
And then he 骂回去. He says, I'm sorry for his inability to show more character and strength. While I was there for him, he obviously was never there for me.
然后还把这个人大骂了一顿。
Okay. 30 seconds. Okay, so we have 30 seconds. So some of you were not here yesterday. Some of you are here yesterday. So for those of you who were here yesterday, let's review some key ideas for those who were not here yesterday. Okay? Okay, what did you learn yesterday?
可能在这边有一些人昨天没有来，所以我们在这里昨天有来的人，希望帮忙这些没有来的人，我们来复习一下昨天学的东西。
复习一下好不好？那我们昨天学到什么东西？我们学到爱 ，right？ 关于爱。We talked about love yesterday, right? So what are the 3 kinds of love that we talked about?
记不记得他所讲这个爱的3种
Agape, okay. 还有呢 Phileo, 还有呢 Eros. So the Greeks use 3 words to describe love. One is phileo, which means friendship. And the other one is eros, which means sexual or romantic love. And agape, which describes a sacrificing, unconditional kind of love.
所以昨天我们讲到3种的爱，第一个是 phileo 是友情，第二个是 eros 或 eros 是一种性爱，第3个是 agape 是一种纯爱，也是一种牺牲的爱。
Yeah, we also talked a little bit about a different definition for love.
我们昨天也讲到对于爱的一个新的定义。
We say love is a commitment to extend yourself for the benefit of another.
所以我们说爱是一个决定啊，一个决意，延伸自己，为了要照顾别人。
Yeah, so 3 pieces. The first one is that love is not primarily a feeling, it is a decision.
所以有3个方面，第一个就是爱不完全是感觉，而是一个决定。
Yeah, so you cannot, if love is just a feeling, you cannot decide to love someone for their entire life.
因为如果爱只是一个感觉的话，你是不可能做这个决定，一生爱一个人。
And yet, if love is primarily a decision, then you can decide that you are going to extend yourself for someone else's benefit.
所以，如果爱不光是感觉，而是一个决定的话，你可以决定这一生要牺牲你自己，为别人付出代价，为了仗义另一个人。
So when we often think of love, the first thing that comes to mind is some kind of a blend of eros and phileo.
所以，当我们一想到爱，通常就是一个性爱以及友爱中间的一个混合。
Something that gets you very excited, gives you a certain wonderful feeling.
有些东西让你好像是让你非常兴奋，的一个东西。
But we talked about how there is a life-transforming kind of love that actually is focused not on yourself but on someone else.
但我们这里讲到是一个能够转变你生命的一种爱，而这个爱的焦点不是你自己，而是别人。
And we said that this is a kind of love that takes risks.
我们说这一种爱是需要冒险的。
And that God gave us that love. He took a big risk.
神冒了很大的险，把这个爱给了我们。
And on the cross, we saw the extent of this love.
在十字架上，我们看到这一个爱是多么的深，多么广。
Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about sex and why there are so many train wrecks on the road to love.
所以我们今天要讲性的这一个部分，以及在爱情这条路上为什么出这么多车祸。
Yeah, it's okay. 我们这样子的 work out. Okay, good. So I'm hoping also that we will have some question and answer period at the end.
我们也希望在这里能够最后有一点问题解答。
So
在这里要不要告诉他们，就是说，是不是大家手上都拿到一个纸一个笔？如果你还没有拿到，或者你的问题还没有问的话，在那边我们后面这位弟兄会把纸跟笔发给你，而且当你写好了以后，在后面有一个纸盒，不知道大家是不是可以看到？拿取一下呀。然后就是说，如果你有这个问题，你可以丢到那个纸盒里。我们尽量的希望有时间。
或者是纸盒可以传过来。So we hope that you will put down the questions that you have in that box anonymously, so you don't have to feel like you have to go there. We can pass the box around. But at the end, we hope to have some questions, some opportunities to answer some questions.
对，你可以写一些不记名的一些问题哈，希望有时间有机会在最后为你做解答。
Okay, so let us get started.
那我们现在开始。
Let's pray.
我们先做一个祷告。
Lord, good morning.
亲爱的天父，你早。
It's good to be in your presence.
非常的高兴能够在你的面前。
It's good to be among your people.
以及在你的子民之中。
We open our hearts to you.
我们把我们的心向你打开。
You know us inside out.
你彻彻底底地认识我们。
It would be foolish for us to be anything but transparent before you.
所以在你的面前，如果不透明的话，那真的是一件不聪明的事情。
Help us to be that way today.
求你帮助我们在你的面前透明。
In Jesus' name.
奉耶稣基督名求。阿门。
Okay, so we talked about love. Let's talk a little bit about sex. Okay, you remember, just a way to review. Yesterday, we talked about this concept of intimacy.
昨天我们也讲到了亲密的关系。
We say that we human beings were made with a great need for intimacy.
我们说，当神造人的时候，给了人很大需要亲密关系的需要。
And we said that a way to think about intimacy is to know and be known.
我们说，亲密关系的定义可以说被认识跟被认识。
And so what is the relationship between intimacy and sexuality?
所以亲密的关系跟性有什么关系呢？
What do you think is the relationship between intimacy and sexuality?
你觉得亲密跟性有什么关系呢？
It's an expression.
Very good. Who said that? Is that Alex? Oh, it's Yang. Okay, very good. So, what is an expression of what?
Sexuality is an expression of intimacy.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. 我觉得 that's really, really good. Sexuality is an expression of intimacy.
所以性是亲密关系的一个表现。
是一种表达。
表达。
Right? So, if you already have intimacy, you use sexuality to express it.
如果你已经有亲密了，你可以用性来表达这个关系。
But it is not a way to achieve intimacy.
但是性不是让你达到亲密关系的方法。
Some people think that if I have sex with someone, that we must be really intimate.
有一些人以为，如果跟这个人有性关系，我们就可以有亲密的关系。
I had friends when we were in college. They wake up at the end of a party in the morning with someone, and they figure we must be really intimate because here we are.
那我在大学的时候，有一些同学清早醒来，发现旁边躺了另外一个人，然后他的结论就是说：“哎呀，我们既然有这个关系，我们一定很亲密。”
That's not how it works.
但是亲密关系不是这样达
You
到
don't
的。
get to know someone just because you've been naked with them.
如果你赤身露体跟一个人在一起，并不代表你可以跟他建立亲密的关系。
So in many ways, we, as the Bible says, need intimacy.
圣经告诉我们，我们都需要亲密，
But sometimes we just settle for sex
但是有时候达不到亲密，我们就说有性也可以，
because sex is a little easier.
因为性比较容易。
The Bible says, remember Adam says to Eve, you are bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Yeah.
记不记得亚当跟夏娃说：“你是我骨中的骨，肉中的肉。”
This is an expression of intimacy.
另一个表达是一个亲密的
But
表
it's
达，
not just about nakedness.
这并不是说光讲到赤身露体，
To leave and to cleave, to be naked and not ashamed. This is what we hope to have.
要二人离开父母成为一体，这个是我们每个人都需要的，都希望有的。
Yeah, but we can't always just get it, right?
但是我们不是要就可以得到，
It is such a powerful force in our lives.
但是它是在我们生命中一个很大的力量。
There's a man by the name of Robert Bell, and he once said, if we want to know what is sacred in the world, all we have to do is to see what is most violently profane.
有一个人名叫 Robert Bell 这个样说过，如果你要看到在我们世界里什么是一个最圣洁的东西，你就看这个世界上最糟蹋的那个东西。
Yeah,
最
exactly.
被糟蹋的。
And it just seemed like when man turns away from God, a culture turns away from God, the first place you see this is in the expression of sexuality.
当一个文化转离了神的时候，这个文化最明显的表现就是在它的性，
Because it is such, in many ways, seemed like such a good substitute.
因为性好像是一个最能够代替神的一个东西。
Yeah, and so now we have this issue where we get a little confused about what is right, what is wrong in this whole area.
所以在这一方面，有时候我们就不太知道什么是对，什么是错。
Yeah, it is a place of, sexuality is so involved with such intense passions and this incredible, at the same time, pain and agony.
所以，因为性是这么样的一个力量，它可以创造在我们的生命里这种说不出来的喜乐，有 说不出来刻骨铭心的痛苦。
And at this point, I want to reference you to a Labrie Ideas Library talk by a Christian psychologist and doctor called Richard Winter.
所以在这里要跟大家说，如果你有机会的话，可以上那个 Labrie Ideas Library， 在里面找这个 Dr. Richard Winter， 他是一个心理科医生。
He spends a lot of time talking about this. He's given a number of talks, some of them 4 to 5 hours long, some of them an hour and a half, and he has a lot of reflections that are very useful that I borrow.
呀，他给了很多很多这一方面的演讲，所以如果你有机会，有些很长，有些很短。在我们今天的这个讲座中，有一些是从他的讲座出来的。
So today, when we look at this thing, the sex, the topic of sex, the title that he gave for it was the passion and the agony.
所以我们那一个老师Dr. Richard Winter 给这个性的讲座的题目就是极大的喜乐以及极大的痛苦。
And in fact, we really do experience both of these things.
事实上，在今天社会，我们很多的人都经历这两方面。
And in many ways, we are all learning and struggling with our sexuality.
事实上，我们每一个人都在学习，都在跟我们的性增长。
And the question is, which voices do we hear when we are learning?
所以最重要的就是，当你在学习这个题目的时候，你要听什么声音？
There is the voice of your body.
其中有一个声音是你身体的声音，
It feels good.
哎，性让你觉得很舒服，
It is a great need.
而你身体有很大的需要。
You know, there's the voice of the culture.
然后第二个声音是文化的声音，
It's really exciting. Why are you the only one not doing that?
这世界会告诉你，这么兴奋的事情，为什么只有你不去做呢？
There is the voice of the church.
然后有教堂的声音，
And frankly, in the church's teaching, sometimes there is this legacy of distorted things about sex.
事实上，教堂的教导在过去是看
I'll
对
talk
于
about it a
性，
little later.
对于性有时候他的教导也是有点歪曲。
But there's your own experience. Sometimes they are not good experiences when it comes to sex.
而且有另外一个声音，可能是你过去的经验，而这些经验不见得是好的经验。
There is the voice of the pornographic industry.
然后在里面有那个色情事件要告诉你的一些声音。
And then there is the Word of God and the Spirit of God in your life.
然后还有一个声音是神的话语跟神的灵在你的生命里向你说话的
At
声
the
音。
end, you ask, what voice should I be listening to? Which one did come from where?
所以最后你会问你自己，我到底应该听哪一个声音？哪一个声音是从哪里来的？
What does it mean to live well in the area of sexuality?
在性这个方面，我怎么能够活得灿烂？
This is where we learn. We can learn it from Sex and the City or Friends. These TV shows.
你可能可以从那个 I don't know whether you have been Chinese Sex in the City，Friends 是6人行，或者是你身体里面的声音。欲望都市，你要听他
That's a
们的
good
声音，
translation. So, or we listen to our body.
还是我们身体的声音。
It can't be wrong. It feels so right. Like the song says.
如果感觉这么舒服的话，它不可能是错的，可能这是一些歌文化给你的声音。
And some people say sex is just a biological urge. It's like hungry. You need to eat.
有一些人就说性就是一种身体的自然生态的需要，就像吃饭一样。
It's like animals. We have these instincts because we are animals.
我们就像动物一样嘛，我们有这种本性嘛，因为我们本来就是动物。
There is this band called the Bloodhound Gang, and this is a lyric from one of their songs. It says, "You and me, babe, are nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do it on the Discovery channels." You know what the Discovery channels are? This is a song lyric.
基本上有一个歌，那个歌的歌词就是，反正你跟我，反正我们就是动物吧，我们就跟动物一样的就做这个事儿。
Discovery Channel is about animals, right? So, and when you actually look at our culture today, especially North American culture, this is cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan is not even a hardcore porn magazine. This is what you get when you go to Safeway and before you check out.
呀，在我们现今的杂志，这是你在买菜的时候，旁边那些书就是这个样子的。
Yeah, I don't even know who reads Cosmopolitan. You read Cosmopolitan? I'm afraid I'm not a big Cosmopolitan target audience, but it's the best sex ever. I think it's for women. Is it for women?
Yeah.
Mainly for women, right?
So, best sex ever. Oh, that's okay.
像这些杂志就是普通的杂志。
Your sexiest sex cues. Go naked. 19 ways to feel instant pleasure.
呀，这些都不是色情杂志呢，在这上面都是告诉你怎么样能够有一个最满足的性生活。
These look like health tips, you know, how to live a healthy life.
这些好像就是给你一些健康方面的知识，你怎么样能够更健康。
So, you know, I think there are many voices in our society talking to us about sex.
所以在我们的社会里，对于性方面给我们很多杂乱的声音。
At the same time, it's obvious that sometimes sex goes wrong in our society.
在我们的社会里，我们也看到性通常有时候真的是变得一个非常的失常。
Just many things that go wrong in our society is related to sex. For example, infidelity.
在我们的社会里面有很多不对的事情都跟性有关系，比方说不忠贞。
Yeah, so like in a relationship,
有外遇，
you know, having outside
有
relationships.
外遇。
Sexual addictions.
对于性的一种性瘾。
Incest within a family.
在一个家庭里面，这种乱伦。
Rape of all kinds, all
强奸，
campuses.
各式各样，各校园各处都有强奸的问题。
All kinds of other behavior, sexual slavery, sexually transmitted diseases, prostitution, and body image, you know, very conscious of, do I look like, you know, some ideal?
呀，还有一些其他的问题，比方性的奴隶，比方说性病，以及妓女、妓男，以及身体的形象的问题，造成了饮食不正常。
So obviously something very powerful in our lives can sometimes go very wrong.
所以在我们的生命里面，非常大的一个力量，有时候会非常的歪曲。
So, you know, let's talk a little bit about what addiction. How do you define addiction?
所以我们现在要讲什么是瘾，我们要讲性瘾。
In fact, this definition of addiction I found actually relates to any kind of addiction, not just sex. It's for drugs. It is craving for a substance, having no control over it, and continuing to use it even when consequences are harming you and your family.
什么是瘾呢？这个瘾就是有一个东西，你就是你想要它，要到你没有办法控制，而且继续会用它，甚至你知道用这个东西会伤害你自己以及你的家庭。
In this definition, it says addicts are often in denial. Basically, they don't think they're addicted.
但是还有另外一个事实，就是有瘾的人通常不愿意承认自己是有瘾的。
There are different degrees. I'm not at the bad end of things.
有一些人说是的，我有一点点瘾，但是还没那么糟糕。
Okay, so this intense pleasures of sex are matched only by the intense agony of this sexual bondage to pornography or prostitution or some sort of unhealthy relationship.
但是那个爱所给你极强烈的那种舒服、那种喜乐，只能跟它有相对称的，就是因为你有性瘾，因为有这些妓女，因为有这些不正常的人际关系所带来给你的痛苦。
I noticed that the two themes of this retreat are from bondage to freedom
呀，我知道我们这一个营会的主题：自由与束缚，
and from illusion to reality.
虚幻与真实。
I would say in this area of sex, there's a lot of illusions and there's a lot of bondage.
我是说，在性的这一方面有很多的虚幻，有很多的束缚。
So let's spend a little bit of time just talking about what is reality in this area.
所以我们花一点时间来谈一下，到底什么是真实？
And what does freedom look like in this area?
在这一个方面，自由是什么样的形象？
So we're not speaking at you, we're speaking with you.
我们不是对你们传道，我们只是跟大家一起聊一聊。
Because to be honest, one reason why sex is so difficult is because people don't talk about it at all, even though everybody struggles with it.
有一方面是为什么性对每一个人是这么困难？虽然我们每一个人都在挣扎，我们很少来谈这个问题。
And when we talk about this topic, we have to talk about pornography.
所以当我们在谈这个问题的时候，我们必须要谈色情。
You know, pornography is a big industry.
色情是一个很大的工业。
And when I look at, so I was doing some research. One place you can find statistics on the industry is in a place called Covenant Eyes. This is a 2015 edition.
所以2015年我所得到的数据，大家也可以上网去找，叫做 Covenant Eyes， 找到的一些数
I
据。
compared it to a few years ago. It's not that different. So it seems like it's stabilized, a certain level of saturation. You can only go so far on saturating. And I think we've reached saturation on pornography.
呀，我们跟几年以前的数据相比，变化并没有太大。
You know, after the internet became popular, you know, the pornography industry really took off.
在网站开始变得很普及的时候，色情的这个工业就大大发展。
Now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It actually has more dollars apparently than all the major sports combined.
呀，它有上千亿的这个钱，它的这个钱大到所有的那个运动都没有办法，
There's
网站都没
apparently
有办
over
法跟它比。
4 million websites,
在这里有420
probably more
百
now.
万、420万的网站，甚至可能比这个更多。
Every year, Hollywood makes about 400 movies. It makes 11, well, over the world, they say about 11,000 pornographic clips are made every year.
如果 Hollywood 每一年只做400个电影的话，全世界的色情电影有11000部。
The average age of first exposure to internet porn, they say it's about 11 years old. That hasn't changed much.
网站色情第一次有接触的平均年龄是11岁。
About 90% of 8 to 16-year-olds have used pornography.
98%到16岁的人用过色情网站。
Out of 1,000 13 to 16-year-olds in the U.S., the average time spent on pornography per week is an hour and 45 minutes per week.
在美国，1000个孩子做的统计13到16岁，每一个礼拜花在色情网站的时间平均是1个小时45分钟。
And the greatest user in the U.S. used to be 12 to 17-year-old boys. More recently, they say it's men between 35 and 44 because they have a little more money. I guess they can pay for certain things that others cannot pay for.
在以前用这种网站最多的人是2到17岁，但现在变成35到44岁，可能是因为他们比较有
And
钱。
there's all kinds of pornography: heterosexual, homosexual, children, animals, groups, machines. That's what it says.
呀，色情的网站包括同性网站，包括异性网站，包括儿童网站、动物、一群人以及机械。
There's probably cartoons.
Anime. I heard.
70%, according to the number of surveys, most of them come out with about the same number. 70% of Christian men struggle with pornography. So do pastors and seminary students. Sorry, that's what it said.
70%的基督徒男性都有这个问题，包括牧师以及包括神学院学生。
A few years ago, Rick Warren, one of the biggest churches in the U.S., they did a survey of 1,351 pastors.
在几年以前，一个很有名的美国牧师 Rick Warren 做的这一方面的研究，他调查了13000多个牧师。
54% said that they had access to pornography within the past year.
54%承认在过去这一年有看色情网站。
30% said within the last month.
30%说在上一个月有用过色情网站。
The only good news is their congregation uses it more.
唯一的就是说，他们的会众用的要比牧师用的多。
Yeah, 61% over the past year, 44% over the last one. Anyway, so the surprising thing is that this is no longer surprising.
最让人惊讶的就是这种数据已经不会让我们更
Because
惊
so many
了，
of us grew up in this world of internet.
因为我们大家都是在这种网站、互联网的这种社会上长大的。
In fact, increasingly, according to this, actually, it's no longer increasing. It's about the same. About 72% of men, 28% of women seem to access pornography on a quasi-regular basis.
事实上，在美国72%的男性，28%的女性，常常的使用色情网站。
And they note that the women mostly prefer some sort of erotica, something with a storyline, some sort of relationship. But men, they just want raw material to masturbate to.
所以女性大部分就是要有一个故事在后面，男性大部分就是要一些形象，使得他们能够自慰。
So So that is what is the voice? What is the voice or message of pornography?
色情到底要给你什么样的信息？
Well,
在
the
你的
first
手里
message from the pornography is that it's harmless. In fact, it's educational.
他可能要给你的第一个声音就是告诉，色情它是无害的，而且是对你有教育性的。
Because you learn about things nobody else is teaching you.
因为你会学一些没有任何人要教你的东西。
What it's saying is that you don't need to have sex in the context of a relationship.
另外一个声音就是说，你如果要性的话，你不需要进入一个关系。
And it's no problem with solo sex. It's just,
所以自己一个人搞没有问题。
And lifelong partnerships are old-fashioned and boring.
我还有另外一个声音，就是一辈子要跟另外一个人厮守，这个是一些古旧的一些思想，太沉闷无聊了。
And sex is always amazing and exciting.
我要告诉你，都是性，都是非常的了不得，都是非常让你兴奋的。
And in fact, the best sex always happens away from routine and normal domestic life.
甚至他告诉你的声音说，最好的性通常都不是在家里，而是在外边。
This is just a repeat message. It is not written there, but that's what it tells you.
虽然色情没有把这些写出来，但基本上它的信息是这一些。
What is the pull of porn? What is it that makes it so appealing?
但为什么色情是有这么大的力量把人吸进去呢？
Well, it's hard to have real relationships.
因为有真实的关系不容易。
When you are married in a sexual relationship, you have to work hard. When people have differences, you have to work it out.
因为如果你在婚姻里面的话，你如果中间有问题的话，你一定要解决问题。
A real person has moods. A real person gets into fights.
一个真正的人，他有情绪，他会跟你吵架。
But in the virtual reality of porn, everything works.
但是在色情的世界里，什么一切问题都没有。
And fantasy is much easier than reality. There's never any hiccups. There's no need for pillow talks or sexually transmitted diseases, or you don't even have to pay for dates.
在幻觉的世界里面，你不会得性病，你也不需要请这个人出去吃饭。
And it's released without responsibility. There's no demand on the user.
呀，你自己可以释放，但是你没有任何的责任。
And so for many, it's a way to escape problems.
所以对于很多人而言，这是一个逃避问题的方法。
And all the studies show that men learn to masturbate quite early, and it's a way to channel their emotional tension, and often it's linked to pornography.
呀，研究告诉我们，男孩子很早就开始自慰，所以他们就会很早的使用色情。
And so when life is difficult, it's a place people go.
呀，如果生活有碰到了问题、困难的时候，很多的人就会转向色
So
情网站。
that's the pull of pornography.
这就是色情给人的一个吸引力。
Okay, but what is the problem? What is the problem?
色情有什么问题呢？
And there are many problems.
色情有很多的问题。
The first one is it's an impediment to real relationships.
那它就是会使得你跟人之间真正的关系会使你退步。
You know, in North America, we grow up, we learn to date.
在北美，当我们长大的时候，我们学怎么样去约会。
When you date, you face rejections.
当你约会的时候，可能你会被拒绝。
When you date, you discover that your expectations are very naive because the other person had completely different expectations.
当你约会的时候，你会发现你自己的期望跟另外那个人期望中间是非常不一样的。
When you date, you find that you have to pay attention to how you look because the person wants you to, there's certain expectations.
当你约会的时候，你会发现你要注意一下自己的形象，因为对方有这么样的期望。
And even though it's an awkward, goofy, sometimes embarrassing process, you learn about relationships.
虽然约会有时候会让你觉得非常的尴尬或者非常不自在，但是它是一个学习的经验。
But many people, in the virtual world of porn, stop actually working on those relational challenges in life.
但在这种幻觉的世界里面，他就有一些人就不再为这个世界上的关系挣扎而努力了。
So let's say somebody gets very involved in this at 12, and then, gets into a real relationship at 24, that 24-year-old behaves more like a 12-year-old because he never learned.
因为12岁的小孩就开始看色情，24岁的时候他约会的话，他这个12年中间他都没有为人际关系这一方面人际关系努力过。
What they learned about sexuality, they learned from whatever was on the TV, on the monitor.
他对于性的学习就是从他看的这一些荧幕上学的，视频上学的。
And another problem is that pornography is essentially self-centered, so it's very narcissistic.
另外一方面就是色情是一个非常自我中心的东西。
Remember, good sex is relational sex.
好的性是一个关系性的
It's
性。
part of a bond.
它是一个
It's a bonding agent.
它是一个使人跟人中间能够连接的一个东西。
But pornography is all about you.
但是色情就是为了服务于你。
Yeah, so you get the feeling that that's what sex should be all about.
可能你就学了性本来就是应该这样，就是服务你的。
It imprints.
而且它会给你这 inference， 就是很早就给你这种印象。
If you fall into a certain pattern in pornography, then that pattern is what turns you on.
如果是你使用色情而某一种方法使得你能够性兴奋的话，你就会一直持续这种模式。
Your responses, even your preferences, this is according to all the psychology literature, just creates a certain pattern in your brain of the things that get you excited.
就会在你的脑子里造成了这个样，只有某一些方面的只有某一些事情会让你
Leaving
性
a
方面。
groove on a record.
也就是好像在一个唱片上留了一个印一样。
And what's worse is it's addictive.
还有最重要的，它是有瘾的。
You keep moving in order to increase the buzz.
然后你就会一再的加强，为了要使你的性瘾达
There
到
was
满
a
足。
there was a very good book on this topic by a psychologist by the name of Pamela Paul. The name of the book is called Pornified.
有一本很重要的书by Pamela Paul， 它的名字叫做 Pornified。
Yeah, Pornified. So here she was interviewing this guy and he was describing his experience online.
他在面试一个人，这个人就在形容他在色情网站上的经验，抱怨在别人的身上，因为你看起来就是一个吸毒的，你讲话像个吸毒的，你动作像个吸毒的。
You manipulate like an addict. You drive like an addict. You blow money like an addict. You go through women like an addict.
你各式各样的行为都像一个药瘾。
You miss appointments like an addict. You eat like an addict. You parent your kids like an addict. You even, she means, say false things like an addict.
在这里这一连串我不需要翻译。
And all these things you already know about yourself, as does the rest of the world who choose to sit back and appease you, so they won't lose your friendship or their grip on your wallet.
你明明知道你自己有这么多的毛病，但你周围的人他不愿意说出来，为什么？不愿意失去你的友谊，或不愿意失去你的金钱。
I don't know if Doc Gooden is back on cocaine.
我不能够说穿黑衣服的人又去吸毒了。
But the most important thing, I think, is that if he is, that he would say, 实事求是. It is what it is, and I need help.
但如果他真的是又回去吸毒，我希望最重要的他能够面对这个事实，而且诚实的说出来。
In our area of sexuality,
在我们的性的这一块，
everyone struggles privately,
我们每一个人都私下的在挣
but there
扎，
will be some that need help.
但有一些人真的是需要帮助。
And in God's grace, I pray that they find their help,
借着神的恩典，我希望
that
他
we
们能够
find our.
得到帮助。
Okay, so being honest is a first step.
所以第一步是你需要诚实，面对你的问题
The。second is just to confess to God.
第二个是
Ask
向
for
神
help,
向神
forgiveness.
承认，向他认罪，求他来帮助你
So。one of the most important, one of my favorite verses in the Bible is 1 John 1,
这圣经的这个经节我很喜欢，约翰一书第1章
8 to 9.
第8到第9节，你们若说自己无罪，无罪便是自欺，真理不在我们的心里。我们若承认自己有罪，神是信实的，是公义的，必要赦免我们的罪，洗净我们一切的不义。
This is God's very sincere plea.
这是神向你的恳求跟
He
邀
says,
请。
if you say you are without sin, you're deceiving yourself.
如果你说你没有罪，你就是自欺了。
But if you confess your sin,
但如果你愿意承认的话，
then it says God is faithful and just.
神是信实的，是公义的
And。he will do two really important things.
他会做2件很重要的事情。
One is to forgive,
第一个是赦免，
and the other is to purify.
第二个是洗净。
That's what he's in the business of doing.
这就是神就是要这个样做的。
But what should we be doing?
那我们应该做什么呢
We？ simply confess.
我们就是要认罪，
We simply are honest.
我们就诚实，
And then it's up to him.
然后神就会要做他的那个部分，
And he doesn't fail.
他绝对不会让你失
And
望。
this applies to Christians, applies to non-Christians.
这个应许对于基督徒、对基督徒、非基督徒都有。
If you have never confessed to God the reality of your need,
如果你从来没有真真实实的对神承认过你的需要，
this applies to you.
这个也应用在你的身上，
Because God is faithful and just.
因为神是信实的，是公义的，
He will forgive.
他会赦免你的，
He will purify.
他会洗净的。
And what we need the most are forgiveness and purification.
我们最需要的就是他的赦免以及他的洁净。
Let me just go to so second is to confess to God. And the last one I just want to say is, get a fresh start, receive a fresh start.
第三个就是接受一个新的开始。
Many people feel like, I've been through a lot. I'm, I don't know, I didn't live like Mother Teresa.
有很多人说我已经蛮一塌糊涂的，我又不是圣女。
So all this stuff works fine for you guys, doesn't work for me.
这些事情对你们而言没事儿，对我的话是不可能的。
Yeah, well, I don't think God is calling Mother Teresa.
我知
She
道
just became a
神
saint, right?
神不是呼召我们这些要做圣女是圣女的人，
He's calling for people who are broken and know they are broken.
他所呼召的是一些破碎自己也知道自己破碎的人。
There's another article I came across recently about these two.
呀，另外这里有2个人，哇，这个女的衣服。
Where are you looking? I'm not. So this good-looking guy. I'm only kidding. So listen. So this good-looking guy is Russell Wilson. He is the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like to say their name out loud. So he's a great football player. He's a Christian.
这个男的是一个基督徒，他也是很有名的足球明星。
He recently, actually just 2 months ago in June, got married with this lady. Her name, her stage name, her actually is Sierra.
2个月以前他结婚了。
Now, this is part of that article. It says no sex before marriage. Pray for us.
他说我们2个在婚姻之前不愿有性行为。
Sierra is not a virgin. She actually has a 2-year-old daughter by an earlier relationship.
这个女的有一个2岁的小孩儿。
Son, as kid. And this is what Russell Wilson says. I met this girl. Her name is Sierra, who is the most beautiful. She was a supermodel, and she's a singer and a dancer. She was the most beautiful woman in the world, the most kind person, the most engaging person, everything I could ever want, he explained. And I asked her, what would you do if we took all that extra stuff off the table and just did it Jesus' way?
所以这个男的说，这个女的美若天仙，又非常的善良，然后就说我们两个是不是可以，我们的行动应该像耶稣要我们所做的。
And then he said, yeah, we're talking about sex.
是的，我们是在讲我们的性关系。
Can we love each other without that?
我们可不可以先彼此相爱而没有性呢？
If you can really love someone without that, then you can really love someone.
如果你可以没有性就爱这个人，你真的就可以爱
He
他。
said, I ain't gonna lie to you all. I need you all to pray for us because I know you all have seen her on the screen. If there's a 10, she's a 15. Pray for me. Keep my mind clear. Keep my
所以
heart
这个男的说，请为我祷告。大家都知道这是很不容易的事情。
Yeah, so I don't think that what God is looking for are people who have not made mistakes. In fact, God is exactly looking for people who have.
神所找的不是以前没犯过错的人，事实上，神就是要找那个以前犯过错的人。
In fact, people who think that they don't make mistakes are not qualified.
事实上，
In fact, they're
如果
overqualified.
你觉得你从来没有犯过罪的话，那你的资格就太高了。
And God honors those who reach out to Him.
如果你承认，而且你愿意伸手去让他来接到你的话，
Isaiah 18:1, it's not 1:18, it's 18:1.
呀，以赛亚书18章第1节这样说：耶和华说，你们来，我们彼此辩论。你们的罪虽如朱红，必变成雪白；虽红如丹颜，必白如羊毛。
This is amazing stuff, you know. He says, come, let us reason together. This God who has, you know, created the universe looks down at this little depraved little creature and says, let's reason together.
这个创造宇宙万物的主宰，对着我们这个沉沦的小人，这个样说：来，我们两个来评评理吧。
I can't believe that this is in the Bible.
我真的是无法相信圣经有这样的话，
But that's exactly what he says.
但这就是圣经的话
He
语。
says, though your sins are like scarlet, red, then they're going to be white as snow.
虽然你的罪如朱红，必变成雪白；
Though they are red as crimson, they'll be like wool.
虽红如丹颜，必白如羊毛。
And then in 2 Corinthians 5:17,
哥林多后书5章17节
he
是
said,
这
if
样
anyone
说：
is in Christ, he's a new creation. New creation has come.
若有人在基督里，他就是新造的人，
The old has gone, the new is here.
旧事已过，都变成新的了。
The goal is not to like wipe out what's in the past. The goal is to receive the life that gives you a new future.
你的目的不是把以前一切都撤销掉，而是你要成为一个新造的人，得到新的生命。
This applies to every dimension of our lives.
这是我们生命任何一个方向都可以应用得到。
Whether we are failing in a certain part of our lives or whether we just need to know God for the first time.
可能是你的生命有一些地方失败，可能就是你需要第一次来接受神。
Yeah. And so, what kind of challenges do you face today?
所以你今天所面对的挑战是什么呢？
Are you willing to just let go?
你愿不愿意把你的过去放手，
Just surrender them to God
把它交在神的手中？
and make a new start today.
今天重新开始，
Be honest, confess, and just receive a fresh start.
诚诚实实的向神认罪，接受神给你的新的开始。
Let's pray.
我们来祷告。
Father, we thank you for this time together.
天父，谢谢你给我们这时间。
Father, you know that life is messy.
你知道我们的生命常常是一塌糊涂，
You know that our lives are messy.
你也知道，真的就是这样。
And you know that we are very good at hiding.
你也知道我们很会躲，很会藏。
But you have promised that if we confess our sins,
但你的应许是，如果我们愿意认罪，
that you are faithful and just,
你是公义的，是信实的，
and you will forgive us our sins,
你会赦免我们的罪，
and you will purify us from every iniquity.
洗净我们一切的不义。
So we trust you in this little tiny thing,
在这一件事情上，我们信任你，
this very little bit of faith that we have.
我们只有这么一点点的信心，
We are trusting you.
我们愿意把自己信任在你的手中。
I don't know if there's anyone here. I know there's some people here who have never publicly professed their faith in Jesus.
我知道在这里有一些人从来没有公众的承认过，他们愿意相信耶稣。
You have spent a couple of days reflecting.
在过去这2天，可能你在思考这一件事情：
What is real? What is illusion? And
什么是真实，什么是虚幻，
what is freedom? And what is bondage?
什么是束缚，什么是自由。
If at this moment
如果在这一个时刻，
you want to let go and surrender your life to God,
你愿意放手，愿意把你的生命交在神的手中，
the God that created you,
那个创造你的神，
the God that wants to give you an abundant life.
那个要给你丰盛生命的神。
And if this is your heart's desire,
如果这是你心中的盼望，
and I just respectfully invite you to raise your hand.
我现在恭敬地邀请你把手举起来。
If there's anyone here,
请问在这里有哪一位吗？感谢主。
anyone else,
请问还有哪一位吗？
praise the Lord. You can
感
put your
谢主，
hand
你可
down.
以把手放下来。
Anyone else?
请问还有哪一位？
It's just between you and God.
这就是你跟神中间，
It's just what you want to tell your Creator.
就是你要告诉那个创造你的主，
Nobody else really matters to.
没有任何其他的一个人在这件事情上跟是有关系的。
Anyone else?
请问还有哪一位？
The God who died for you on the cross,
那个在十字架为你死的神，
who knew your life before you even took a single breath,
在你还没有呼吸一口，他就认识你的神。
who saw you every time in the dark when
每
you
一
cried.
次在黑暗里哭泣的时候，他看到了你。
Is there anyone else?
请问还有哪一位？
Anyone else?
请问还有哪一位？
It's just you and God.
就是你跟神
Just
之
to
间
tell
的
him
关系，
That's what you want.
就是只需
You
要
just
告
want
诉
him.
他，你就只要他。
Anyone else?
还有哪一位吗？
Okay, let's pray.
我们来祷告。
Oh, praise the Lord.
感谢主，
Praise the Lord.
感谢主，
Praise the Lord. Anyone else?
还有哪一位吗？
Praise the Lord. I
感
see
谢
you
主，
pray.
你看到。
Praise the Lord. Let's pray. Lord, we are really grateful to your love.
主，我们感谢你的爱。
How little are we able to understand it?
虽然我们是这么不容易认识你的爱，
But we're willing to trust ourselves to you.
但是我们愿意信任你。
I pray for those who just raised their hands.
我为这些刚刚举手的人祷告，
I thank you for your spirit that illuminates them
谢谢你的圣灵在他们的心里的工作，
and to give them the courage to raise their hand.
给他们的勇气把手举起来。
Lord, I commit them to you.
我把他们交托在你的手中。
We thank you for the future that you have planned for them.
谢谢你为他们每一个人所设计的未来。
We thank you for the good things that you want to pour into their lives.
谢谢你要把美好的事情倾倒在他们的生命里。
We thank you that you will be there when they have questions.
知道当他们有问题的时候，你会在那里。
We thank you that your love never fails.
知道你的爱是永不止息的，
That you are the source of all love.
你是爱的源头。
And you yourselves told us
你告诉我们，
that love always, always will be there.
爱永远在他们的身边。
Thank you in Jesus' name.
奉耶稣基督名求，Amen。那是最后问题解答，谢谢。
有没有写到呀？
问题解答。
Can I just very quickly? So over there is a table.
告诉大家一下，在这边有一个桌子。
If you're not yet married,
如果你还没有结婚，
and we prepare some rings.
我们在那里有准备一些戒指。
A long time ago, this used to be very popular, but now it's not very popular. We don't see it much.
你看现在好像没有太多的人在戴
But if today you feel like you want to take a vow of purity,
但如果今天你愿意做这一个纯洁的誓言，
it says, I promise to God, my future mate, and myself to keep my mind and body morally clean and pure, so that when I enter the marriage covenant, I would be able to give myself with a completely clean conscience to my mate.
他这个讲的是什么呢？就是我的誓言，我要做圣洁生活的誓言，我对神以及对我未来的配偶以及对我自己做这个样的诺言，我要使我的心跟我的身体都能够保持圣洁，使我进入婚约的时候，我可以完完全全的把自己交给对方。
Remember, God knows our mess,
你知道，我们要记得神知道你的过去，
but God invites you anyway.
但是神还是在邀请你。
And if this is what you want to do, we actually have many different sizes. I went and guessed.
所以我们
So
在
if you want to, if you sign one of these with a couple of witnesses, you can pick your own ring.
我们在那里会有3位弟兄姐妹在那，他可以做你的见证人。
And I'll try to answer questions while you're doing that.
呀，所以当你这个样做，我还需要一个。
So if you want, I know it's going to take a while, but if you want to go, I invite you to go and be brave.
我知道可能会拖一点时间，但是这是很重要的一步。所以如果你愿意这个样做的话，请你到那里去啊。
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna try to answer some of these. We can keep talking afterwards, but I'm going to.
我们以
do
后
what
也
I
可以
can.
再继续的讲啊。
I don't understand this one. So.
所以
No, it's in English, but I understand. Okay, let me try this one. Yesterday you quoted a pastor who said to a couple that they were afraid of getting married because there was no longer feeling or passion for one another.
对对对。
That was, etc. Shouldn't there be attraction as well as commitment?
那昨天也讲到，有一对夫妻跟一个牧师讲说，他两个人中间感觉已经没有了。那难道进入婚姻就只要这样尾声，而不需要感觉吗
No, I think there should be attraction.
绝对是要有彼此有吸引力的，
I think there should be plenty of attraction.
而且有很多很多的吸引力。
And frankly, I think that in your normal process of filtering, there was already attraction. Otherwise, you wouldn't have even been together.
事实上，当你在选择配偶的时候，一定是已经有吸引力了，否则你是不会进入这种关系。
But your feelings can change every day for many different reasons.
但是你的感觉每一天都会有改变，可能因为各种不同的因素。
Oh, can you keep it down back over there? Or you
请大家稍微小声一点，好不好？
悄悄一点。
稍微小声一点。
So I think, you know, your feelings could change because you had a bad breakfast or you had a lousy sleep.
可能你昨天晚睡得不好，或今早吃得不好。
But when you wake up in the morning, certain things and facts in life do not change.
但当你醒来，生命有很多东西是不应该改变的。
Sometimes we feel close to God, sometimes we feel far away from God.
有时候你觉得跟神很亲近，有时候觉得跟神很遥远。
Sometimes I see the sun, sometimes I can't see the sun.
有时候看得到太阳，有时候看不到太阳。
But the reality is the sun is there.
但事实上，太阳永远在那里。
In the same way, when you commit to someone and you spend time with them, you say to yourself, you know, I invest and I trust that the feelings will come and go because I know that's normal.
所以，当你尾声的时候，你要跟自己说：“我相信我们的感觉会回来的。
Yeah, so let me make another observation. The Bible has an interesting verse. ”
圣经有一个很好的一个经文，
It says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be.
他说：“你的宝藏在哪里，你的心也在哪里。
Where your treasure is, there your heart will be.
所以你的宝藏在哪里，你的心就会在哪儿。
Where is your treasure?
所以你的宝藏在哪里，
Your treasure is where you invest.
也就是你投资的那个东西。
When you first have a kid, the kid, you don't know the kid.
所以当你刚生孩子的时候，你不认识你的孩子，
The more you invest in that kid, the more you love that little rascal.
你越投资在这个孩子身上，你就越爱这个小顽童。
Why is it that it's harder for kids to love their parents more than the parents to love the kid? Because the parent invested a whole lot more.
为什么孩子爱父母总是没有父母爱孩子多呢？是因为父母在孩子身上投资的更多。
And it is true with relationships.
人际关系也是这个样子。
In the worst possible moments, you have of the other person, you have to say you do not judge a person based on their worst moment, because you do not want to be judged based on yours.
在人际关系也是这个样，你不要因为对方做的最不好的那一刻来决定这个人的价值。
We do that when we fight. We need to be reminded that's not how the other person's worth is measured.
我们要记得是在吵架的时候，
So I think feelings are important.
所以感觉是很重要的。
If you've never had feeling with someone, it's probably not going to work.
如果你对这个人没有吸引力的话，你婚姻可能就
You're going to share the same bed for the rest of your life. I hope you're going to actually enjoy at least some of it.
你要跟这个人一辈子睡同一张床，所以希望你至少对这个人有些感觉。
I think that's important, but I think that's not the main reason why people grow together when they are together.
但是这个感觉不是两个人一起成长最重要的因素。
You know, we often say, if I find my soulmate, right, all the fireworks will go off, everything will be fantastic. It should be electric. The most common thing I heard from young people is, I don't feel the electricity.
年轻人最常告诉我，
没有触电。
没有触电。
Yeah, so what can I say about that, right? So my feeling about this is, you know, if you were interested in that person at all, it's because you find them attractive. Okay? I do not think people should get together just because they could be 同工 forever. They're just partners. Okay? They never even look at each other face to face. They never actually enjoy each other.
两个人在一起，我相信一定是有某一种吸引力。你不要跟我说我们两个在一起就是可以同工，你一定要两个人有面对面，有那种火花。
Yeah, so a good marriage requires eros, filio, and agape.
你要知道，一个好的婚姻要有友情，要有性爱，而且要有。
Our problem is that we think that marriage is all about eros. It's not all about you.
我们的问题就是，我们以为婚姻就只是性爱，但是婚姻不是只有性爱。
懂吗？不是说不重要，不是说，我只是说 is
It's not about
necessary but not sufficient. Okay, so whoops.
多少时间？
Okay.
快点回答。下午有一些可能我们没有时间回答。
Yeah, yeah, we'd be happy to sit around and talk over lunch if you like. So, okay, this is from a married person. Okay, there's just too many questions. What was the most difficult moment in your marriage? How did you keep the fire burning in your marriage? So there are a lot of difficult moments. Not because of Okay, here. If God has only allowed a man and woman to be married, then why is there so many men in the Bible that have so many wives? Yeah. You remember yesterday we talked, whoever asked this, were you here yesterday? Oh, I don't know who did. But never mind, you don't have to identify yourself. So what we talked about was people asked Jesus the same thing with divorce, right? People asked Jesus, this is divorce allowed or not? And Jesus, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. That's not what God wanted. And then they said, well, why is it that Moses issued certificates of divorce? And he said, that's because you guys suck. I mean, you because of the hardness of your heart, God knows that there is something that's good for you, and there's something that you're going to perform. He recognizes both. He should not tell you what is good for you, just because he recognizes that you may not attain it, right? He recognizes, he tells you that actually, not every marriage is going to last for the rest of their lives, right? So honestly, I think that there were lots of guys back there's economic reasons, and because the women were not don't actually many of them own any property apart from their husbands. So sometimes that's my answer to this is just okay. So.
That's okay. 这样基本上就是说，旧约圣经有很多多妻制，那是因为合法不见得就是神的旨意，而且在那个时候有很多社会上的需要。
I can't read. Do you think it is worth waiting until someone shows up? Oh boy.
应该等那个某一个人。
So one of the rings says love, the true love waits, and also another one that says love is worth waiting for, or something like this. There's different types of rings there. Do you think it's worth waiting until someone shows up? Well, yeah, I think it's worth waiting, but it's so easy for me to say. Someone already showed up for me. So,
我觉得说你要等 the right person show up 啊，就是你自己如果真的，这是我的经验，如果你真的是把婚姻交在神的手中，如果你真的就是说神啊，我之所以找到李勉群，就是因为我失败了太多次，然后我就真的就跟神说，在这一方面我是一个大笨蛋，我真的做不了，我完全交给你吧，因为我是一个失败者。当我那一刻，然后我就说，我别的都不要，我要你成为我生命的中心。虽然我是基督徒已经这么多年，当我真心真意的做了那个应许跟神的应许，而且真心真意愿意这样活下去的时候，很奇妙的 ，when you become the right person, somehow the right person shows up. Depends on what you're looking for. So, is the right person worth waiting for? Of course, but be that the right person first. Then you will find the right person actually is around you, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. Western legislation sees porn as a form of free speech, hence does not ban it. Is it unfortunate? Whereas in China, though not a democratic country, but at least the law is clear against it. What is your view? Oh boy. I'd like to hear more about the idolization of romance. Okay, so is porn a form of free speech?
really? 在中国 porn 是 ban 的，不可以看
I
porn
think pretty much, right? Or at least very highly restricted, right? So it's a form of censorship.
但是很多很小的小孩就开始看 porn， 不是吗？
At least the law is clear.
The law
The
is
law
clear.
is
The law is clear. Here the law is very ambiguous.
So I think that there should be laws, I think there should be rules, and I think that we could debate about what the laws and rules should be. But I think something even more important that should matter to you more than the laws and the rules is basically, what does it mean to live well? What does it mean to live good? And we could discuss about what I think about laws, laws about homosexuality, laws about pornography, lots of these. So we could discuss laws about marijuana legalizing, a lot of these types of things. But the more important thing, and I think the one that we emphasize here, is how do you live well? You should not be looking at when you're driving down the highway, you should not be looking at the guardrail. How close can I get? Should I do this? Should we do this? You just say, look, this is the road, and that's where you're going. Look at where you're going. Okay, pay attention to where you're going, because frankly, the guardrail, how close you are to the guardrail is not relevant when you're focused on where you're going. And if you really know what is really important in life, you will not always be going, what have I done here, where have I done there, and what should we do this? We could discuss all those things, but to me, first order is what do you really want out of life? And that's what Jesus keeps coming back to. Every time somebody wants to ask him about how they should tax people, or how they should deal with divorce, he keeps coming back to the same issue. What is this life all about? Who am I? And how does that relate to living well? So to me, I'll just keep going back to that too. Yeah.
我们可能应该保持在12:45之前一定要结束。
You guys should come.
或者就是说，吃饭的时候我们会吃饭，如果有兴趣讨论的话，那我们大家可以坐在一桌继续讨论，好不好？
因为像我们有讲员答疑，所以有问题还可以保持到那个时候去。
好的，好的。
Yeah, okay. You can do that too. Or you can come around and we can sit around and talk over
对，我们
lunch.
邀请大家吃中饭的时候，我们到餐厅我们可以坐同一桌，可以继续的讨论。
Yeah, there's a question about emotional purity, but I don't know what it means. Okay, all right.
好，大家可以走了。
All right. Still need lunch.
这个你那个那个洗面，
哎，你真好。
对，我也去了。